Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Adjacent. Today we have someone that I haven't seen in person in so long, and it was so great catching up with her. Who do we have today, Shelly?
We have the amazing Peggy Fulmer, my old neighbor, my old partner in crime.
Peggy and Shelly used to live next door to each other on Ladle Lane, but Peggy moved away. And so when we get to have any contact with her and connection with her and be adjacent to her, then it's just a big treat. She is so real and honest in this interview. She goes deep into her past stories and some of the traumas that she had as a child, but how she's overcome those and had a great attitude and positive energy and spirit to overcome some real big traumas. What do you think, Shelbelle?
She's incredible. She's so strong. I've learned so much from her. She's a couple years older than I am, and so she was definitely a voice of reason and checking in and asking, how do I deal with this parental situation? How do I navigate this with the kids? And she was always a solid voice of reason and very you're nailing it, Jody. She's so real. We had a conversation one time where she was like, you don't really share yourself with people. And I was like, yeah, I do. And you're one of the people I share with. And she goes, well, I don't know anything about you. And I was like, what? I feel like you're my person and I feel like I'm telling you a lot. And you're like, no, you always redirect people back to themselves and avoid these deep conversations. And that was that was like 20 years ago. And so I really sat with that and I was like, what is this about? Where did this come from? And I just, I have always my life tried to redirect back to people, hence the podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
makes you a great listener, but it doesn't make you necessarily a great sharer sometimes. I understand. I put the boundaries up, but it reminds me of that TikTok. Sorry. Should be a treat.
No, I love it.
When that person's like, you're my best friend and I just love you so much. You're such my best friend. And the person goes, yeah, and doesn't reciprocate. She's like, but I don't know anything about you.
You're like, cool story, man. I didn't know that. Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. It was like, wow. And I was like, man, I feel like I really share a lot of myself with you. And she was like, nope, don't know anything about you. And then we started share group and I started navigating that path and where that was from and really trying to share my life with people more. And that is thanks to Peggy. So anybody that has experienced me sharing me, it's Peggy's fault.
Peggy. No, I like it when people get raw about what's going on. I mean, I'm the same way. I don't like to share unless I know you, but this has definitely been where I was telling Shelly today that I had a dream that I was walking naked down the street. And I was like, it's because I'm revealing too much about myself.
And you have no idea who's listening. You have no idea.
I am like telling people like the craziest stuff. And people that have known me forever keep coming up and they're like, I am finding out so much about you, but they have like a very concerned face.
Why haven't I been part of this? This ride is so good.
I'm like, you have. I just
so funny.
Like a lot of times after I hang out with people, I'll go back, and have little talks with myself about crazy things that I was going through in my head. I'm just like, whatever.
Oh my gosh. So good. It's fine. It's fine. Thanks for tolerating us. Yeah. But Peggy was so much fun. She was like Kate. I live across from Kate right now, and Kate is so fun. I've had the greatest neighbors, Jody. I've
You
had
do.
some really,
You do
man, I've
have,
had some
but I
great
think it's a
neighbors.
attest to who you are because you connect with people, you bring them in. There's not a person that you consider a stranger. You don't have face blindness. You're not a recluse like myself. You don't recharge all the time by yourself. You're an extrovert, but yeah, you're an introvert a little, but you're really like out there. You put yourself out there. And so it is really a test to you because you are the person in the cul-de-sac or the person on the block that's like, hey, let's have a neighborhood party. Okay, cool. And then you organize it. And now you've met Kate, y'all do the same thing. And then everybody just feels part of the group and you want everybody to feel that way. So I love that about you. You're very welcome. Very welcoming.
Well, I've had the greatest neighbors, and definitely Peggy was one of them, and I love her. I love Tom. I call him Tommy. When we were playing cards and dominoes, and just how competitive everybody would get, and just sitting out there. And
yes, I love that. I do miss Ladle Lane. I missed having that time with all of your neighbors. I loved every one of them. They were so kind, and y'all were the types of neighbors that, if anything was going on that was, scary or even celebrations, y'all were there with each other. So I've just loved Peggy, and I love y'all's relationship. You're going to love her too, because she's going to make you just feel like if she can do it, I can do it. If she is going to teach you how she got through the hard times and faced them, and any obstacle is just something she knows she can get right over. So without further ado, here we have
Peggy Fulmer. Woo!
Adjacent. Very near, next to, or touching. Our tailgate is adjacent to the left field fence. ADJACENT. Adjacent.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. We have somebody amazing for you. She used to be Shelly's neighbor. Now she's living all the way in Galveston, but you are going to love her Texas twang and her great fun attitude. Who do we have today, Shelly?
We have the amazing Peggy Fulmer. She's the matriarch of her family. She manages it all. She's a realtor. She's a badass. She, yes, you can cuss on this, Peggy, if you want to. She's formidable. Like, she is so much fun. Our group is called the Ladle Ladies, and we get together as often as possible and have real talks. Like Adrian's saying, real people having real talks. She was my neighbor. We had so much fun together. It was such a joy to have her next door. And I love Peggy Fulmer. So I can't wait to introduce her to everybody.
Welcome, Peggy. Here.
Thank you for having me here. I'm excited, and I'm excited for y'all's success. And so this is going to be great. And Shelly is right. We had a ton of fun.
Y'all did. I miss those days. Those are some of my favorite memories, is being on Ladle Lane. And
Yes. And we actually, before I moved, we got together once a month. Now it's more like every 3 months, but still, that works out as long as you see each other.
Exactly. It's not enough, but we're thankful for every moment of it. When we lived next door, I had little kids, and so Peggy and Tom were so kind. They would meet us out in the cul-de-sac, and we would play spades.
yeah, so fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Peggy's a card shark.
Card shark, yeah.
Dominoes, Shelly, dominoes. I actually like cards too.
Yes.
Dominoes. That's some fun times. It says here that you're an Aquarius, so let's listen to your Aquarius stat.
Well, you know what? Shelly had sent me, we're probably going to ask this and this and this and this. And she got down to zodiac signs, and I said, I'm an Aquarius, but I don't have any more opinion about it than that. Because Doesn't mean anything to me.
I know, but I think like what I like about this, it says you're innovative and you are, and you're forward thinking. You're always like,
Yeah.
next thing. You're not just like sitting there collecting dust. You're self-sufficient and you don't like to be told what to do. And I think that is very true about you, Peggy. You are an independent-minded person, and I love that about you. You are married to Tom.
Tommy.
Do you want me to go back to my background any?
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Okay, well, my parents lived in Minnesota. They
Okay.
had 4 boys. And so then I guess in about 1956, my dad was transferred to Dallas
Okay.
for Braniff Airline. But it's not because he was a pilot. He was not a pilot. He was in aircraft routing, just to make sure that the planes were here when they were supposed to be here and that kind of thing. So they had moved to Dallas, and then they had me. So not only was I the only girl, I was the only one born in Dallas.
The only Texan. Nice.
Yes, the only true Texan. Yes. And I was, there wasn't anything a whole lot to say. I mean, I went to Catholic school up until high school and just kind of lived a normal life, I think, until you hear about my abnormal life. But, so I may as well just go ahead and get into that. Unfortunately, after I was born, my mom began drinking very heavily, and it soon turned into alcoholism. And I think, having 5 kids under 8 years old and not having a whole lot of money, I think it was just too much for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Handle it. 5 little wild children, 4 of them boys. It was just too much. And I don't know, she became entrenched in it. And over my childhood life, I can't even tell you how many mental hospitals she was in for months and months at a time. And I remember them saying that she was the worst case they'd ever seen.
Oh.
It was really hard on you guys.
It was, but, because of the alcoholism, this is basically when I'm about 2 or 3 years old. And she quit cleaning, she quit cooking, she quit doing anything. All she wanted to do was get drunk and stay drunk. And now that doesn't mean that I don't love her or that I'm even angry at her. I'm not. I'm probably one of the only ones in my family that is not angry at her. I don't have any feeling of animosity or any kind of anything. I just feel love for her because I feel like she did the best she could under the circumstances she had. And she had a weakness and it took a hold of her. But
I hear you.
actually, when I was 19, she died in a head-on collision.
Oh gosh.
So it was really all quite tragic. But again, there's no anger or animosity. And my dad did a pretty good job of keeping us safe and fed. And
Yeah.
he did pretty good with the circumstances that he was left in, which is 5 children and mother for basically since we were born. But unfortunately, when I was 35, he died of cancer. So I've been without parents for about 30-something years.
Yeah, you're an orphan. We are too. So we understand for different reasons. But I do think like our parents were really trying the best that they could. A lot of times back then, women didn't have the connections that they have today. They don't have the yayas, or they don't have the bunco groups, or they don't have the ladle lane folks. They were doing it on their own. They were very isolated, and alcoholism did become a big issue back in that time frame for ladies because they were doing it all on their own and they didn't have that support systems. And so build your yaya groups, get your support systems going. I mean, I think that's the one thing I've noticed about our generation is that we lean in to our friends and we connect with them. They become our family. So you being so vulnerable and sharing that story, you know, I think it just teaches everybody when you're having a hard time, find your crew, find your crew.
And the deal is that I don't talk about it much.
Yeah.
At all. And the reason I don't is not because I don't want to talk about it. It's not because I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
Woo.
It just doesn't fit. And unless I'm in a situation where it fits, why mention it? You know, that's old news and I'm not going to still cry about it today.
Right, right. Well, that's one thing that it says about your sign. You are a independent person. You're going to pick yourself up. You're going to go for it. You're going to keep plugging forward. So where were all the places you lived? So you lived in Dallas. Where else have you lived?
Yeah, I lived in Dallas, and then I moved to Nacogdoches. And after I graduated from high school, I moved to Nacogdoches to attend Stephen F. Austin.
Right.
In Nacogdoches. And I've also worked while I was going to school, I worked for a pharmacy in Nacogdoches at the hospital. But the reason I got the pharmacy job was because that's what I had done in high school. I had worked at a pharmacy for 4 years. And these men that worked in this pharmacy, I mean, they took me in and trained me on the job. And I got the best training in the world under them, under these pharmacists working side by side. And so that's why I got hired at the pharmacy in the hospital. And it just so happens that while I was working in the hospital, I was in the hospital cafeteria one day and I saw this guy across the room, and I turned to the person that was sitting next to me, and I promise you this is the truth. I said, "You see that guy over there?" I said, "I'm going to marry him." And she was like, "You don't even know him." And I said, "Don't worry, I'll marry him."
I love that.
So we've been married 47 years since.
47 years. Oh my goodness. That is just something to celebrate there.
So I knew it was going to happen. I just had to kind of squeeze on up to his roommate to get to know him, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it all worked. And we raised 3 kids. We have 2 boys and a girl. And, you know, we've had our ups and downs over the years, but I think they all turned out to be successful individuals. My oldest son, Brandon, he lives in Frisco, and he has a boy and a girl, 16 and 14. And then my middle son is married, lives in Austin, and he has 3 boys from 7 to 13.
And he's married to a teacher.
Yes. And then my daughter is married and has a 3-year-old boy and a 1-year-old girl. And she lives in where I'm living in Santa Fe, Texas, but she is a labor and delivery nurse with UTMB.
Yeah.
So
and she's very fun. She invited me to her 21st birthday in Vegas. That was my first Vegas trip, was with Peggy and Mallory. It was so fun.
And so you have 7 grandkids?
I have 7. You know, God, the other day somebody asked me how many I had, and I said 8. And then I went back and counted, and I said, I don't know why I said 8. I only have 7. I think it's in anticipation that Mallory might have another one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Well, I've said this before, but when, you know, your kids are having kids, it's like, you know, at the ranch, there's cows, and when they have calves, you know, it's a healthy herd. So you have a healthy
Well, that's right.
Healthy herds because of all you and Tom's hard work raising them. I just remember, I kind of felt like you guys were kind of like, y'all encouraged us when we were having young kids and we would go to Ladle Lane and Shelly was living there. You would always just be so kind to the kids. And so,
Well, she was such a voice of reason. She was like, she gave us so much good advice about like how to communicate with our kids and how to ask open-ended questions and listen. Yeah.
so out in Dallas, Nacogdoches,
At Austin, and then here. So I really only live I'm not a big mover. You know, I kind of get stuck where I am, and this was the biggest myth for me because we lived in Austin for 45 years when we moved here.
Yeah.
And so we've only been here 2 years and I still feel like I'm brand new. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I want to be here for Mallory. And that's the only reason I'm here is for her. And so it's been a good 2 years.
Of course. It's been lovely. Mallory's had 2 little babies, and Peggy and Tom get to spend a lot of time with the grandkids.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
I love it.
I kind of want at least one grandkid. Right now, I just have a dog and 2 cats as my fur babies, I guess they call it. Where is Santa Fe, Texas?
It is between Houston and Galveston.
Okay.
You know where League City is? We're like right next door to League City.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of gives you a perspective. I wanted to mention, Shelly said something to me about a laminated list, and I have no idea what she's talking about. But I will say Shelly thinks I'm a weirdo because I'm a super organized person. I mean, really to the nth degree, I'm a super organized person. And it may be because I grew up in such disorganization.
Yes.
I really don't know. But I wanted to say that when I was growing up and a preteen, because my brothers were teens at that point, they were like one of the first, and we're talking about in the late 50s, early 60s, they were probably one of the first what we call long-haired hippies back in the day. And it was wild at our house. I'll tell you that, because there was nobody watching out.
You're kind of feral. You're kind of feral.
Okay. So, there was a lot of drugs and just a lot of craziness. And the one thing that just popped in my mind, this is just an example of my brothers getting stark naked and going out on a major highway or roadway, say 4 lanes, and hitchhiking naked.
Oh my God. Did he get picked up?
I think it was just the fun of it. Hey guys, let's go do this. Oh, and, it was always fun, drugs, good time. But it was our house became a hangout, I guess, because there wasn't anybody to get them in trouble,
Yeah, I get that. No rules, just fun. A laminated list. Shelly, you want to tell her what a laminated list is?
Oh, let her go. Keep going, Peggy.
No. I've told you everything I know about myself.
Yeah, I love it.
All of us, I'll tell you what, all of my brothers and I and our kids, everybody turned out good, okay. But it doesn't mean we can't get crazy in the future. One of us can't go off the deep end any day now, but for right now, we're all good.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm so glad. Well, Laminated List is from the show Friends, and it's somebody that you can have a hall pass with. Like, you could go and have a special day with them.
Or a date.
A date, or it could just be somebody that you would like to hang out with. It depends.
I thought I had watched every episode of Friends at least 3 times, and I don't remember the laminated list.
Yeah, well, Ross, when he started dating Rachel, he ran into the woman that was his number 1 on his laminated list. And he was like, can I use my laminated list? Can I? And they were flirting with each other. And so anyway, is there anybody, celebrity or anybody that you were like, I would really like to hang out with them?
Yeah. Or have an affair with.
That's what that real out about that, because I'm not a very fast thinker. My brain has gone into slow motion. I mean, I don't know if you were going to say my laminated list is the one friend you'd want to hang out with.
Sure. Who's the one friend?
I don't have any movie stars or
somebody that's not famous.
Yeah.
like Shelly's laminated list. She wants to hang out with just funny people. So it's like, who's on your list, Shelly?
Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, that kind of silliness. Yeah.
Mine is like, I'd like to hang out with like people that have died.
She wants to hang out with the Rat Pack.
Very bland. And now I want to hang out with Jimmy Carter.
I know. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. So it could be somebody usually, if you look at Urban Dictionary, a laminated list or a hall pass is like somebody that your spouse gives you a break from the marriage so that you can go and, get some sexy time with. Like, I think people will be like, one of our friends, she might put like some athletes on there. But most of us have kind of altered it because we can't imagine getting sexy time with anyone. So it's mainly just who we want to hang out with.
I this doesn't have anything to do with sex. It's somebody that I would like to get to know better. I think my mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. That's
awesome.
What do you want to connect with? It doesn't have to be a connection like that.
Yeah. No, I just am so curious about so many things, and it would be cool to hang out with her
to hear this story. Yeah.
Well, and also you didn't get that time with her in the sober sense, so you didn't get to know her fully, and then she died when you were so young. So yeah, I totally get that. I understand. What was it like? What is it like living in Santa Fe, Texas for you? Are you enjoying it? Is it a favorite place that you're living, or what was your favorite place that you've lived so far?
Actually, I'd only been here one time before we moved here, and there's really unusual things about Santa Fe. But let me just say, it's not a very pretty town at all. I mean, it has hands down. Austin wins over prettiness, It's just not pretty like that. But it's a pretty interesting place to me. It is. Even though we're next to big cities, it's still got a real small town atmosphere here. And believe it or not, I just live in a regular neighborhood with regular houses and regular people, but this is like the ritzy part of town,
Yeah.
Because there's just so many poor people here, or people that have grew up in rural areas and they have what they have and they're happy with that. So but that doesn't mean that I'm ritzy. It just means that's just
You're ritzy.
It's just how it all came about. I mean, I actually am in a gated community, and it's the only gated community for miles.
I was telling Jody about you being a Toastmaster. Can you tell us about being a Toastmaster?
Yeah, I'm let's see, going on about 5 years, I guess, I've been Toastmaster. And a lot of people nowadays don't even know what Toastmasters are.
Yeah, tell us.
So it's a nonprofit club, and it's worldwide. I mean, worldwide. In fact, it's bigger in a lot of other countries than it is even in the United States. But it's a nonprofit club that teaches you relationship skills and people skills and speaking skills. So you wouldn't necessarily join Toastmasters. You could join because, I got to give a big speech at work, so I need to figure this out, or I got to give a eulogy or this or that. But it doesn't even have to be about public speaking. You're learning how to relate with other people one-on-one. And so it teaches you kind of how to organize your thoughts into a sequential thought process and to deliver it in a way that is not boring for other people. And anyway, so it's all about communication, whether that be public or private communication. And I really like it, and I found a club here because I was in Dripping Springs Toastmasters for years, and then when we moved here, I had to find a Toastmasters club here. There's not one in Santa Fe, and there's not one in some of the cities around here, but I go to Texas City, and we met in Texas City, and it's just a great club because not only are you learning a lot, but it's a really good place to meet friends. Because when you are in Toastmasters, you kind of become very vulnerable in what you talk about.
Yeah.
Not always. I mean, you may give a speech about, your kitchen chairs. I don't know. I mean, it might be something that boring, but you may also give a speech about, the day your child died. I mean, it's what I'm saying is it's a range.
Yeah.
But each one of those things helps people. And I just love it, and I'm still in it, and so that's that.
Well, sometimes Peggy has come to Ladle Ladies Lunch, and she's real excited, and she shares her stories from Toastmasters. I know you've won some awards.
Wow.
So what was your favorite speech?
My favorite speech? Oh my gosh. I did I don't know if this is my favorite, but this is the one that comes to mind. I did one called Lies, Lies, and More Lies. And it was all about how we all lie in our everyday lives.
Sure.
And, it may be, there's a lot of reasons for the lies, and, it's pretty in-depth conversation about lies, but it's something as simple as, wow, you look great today. I love that color on you. And maybe you don't mean it at all. We do stuff like that. And so it was just all about what lies do to us and how we can correct ourselves from giving those, oh, you look great comments, to find another way to put it so that it doesn't become a lie.
That's a valid statement instead of appeasing somebody. So
Yes.
yeah. And so she comes and shares all those, and it's very exciting to see how excited Peggy is about it. So we love hearing about those. And Peggy retired from the state of Texas. What did you do with the state of Texas?
I worked for the state controller's office for 30 years, which is, I don't know if you know, but the controller's office takes tax money in, and it pays all the bills for the state of Texas. So it's probably the third, you've got your lieutenant governor, your governor, and the controller is probably third in line.
Yeah.
Wow. Because they have a huge job.
Of course. Yeah, they're managing the money. I would say it's probably the most important job.
Yeah. So anyway, I did that for 30 years, and I was very, very fortunate. I worked there all those years, and, it's any state, city, county job, whatever, they're kind of boring. You do the same thing repetitiously for year in and year out. But luckily, I didn't do repetitiously because I like to move from here to there every few years.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up, before I left, I was managing about 160 people. But I'm so grateful for the job I had because I was able to retire at 55 with no benefits and insurance for the rest of my life. So it paid off in the end.
It did. And Tom retired from the county. Is that right?
He retired from the county and he retired from the city.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
we really believe in government jobs because there's good benefits.
oh yeah, they're great benefits. That's watching you guys go through it. I'm like, hey, this is kind of a sweet little gig. Hey, and since y'all retired so young, y'all been traveling a lot.
Yes.
Tell us. I've been to Africa multiple times. Tell us.
Yeah, in fact, that's probably the thing I like to do the best. In fact, I sit around now and all I think about is places to go.
Yeah.
I want to go here, I want to go there. And, Tom's like, why would you want to stay in the United States? Because there's a lot of places I haven't seen in the United States.
Yeah.
I've always got a travel bug, and I got to kind of push him a little bit because he's not so much a travel bug.
He just wants to go hunting.
Yeah. So anyway, this year in 25, I'm in February 6th, I'm going to Kauai, Hawaii with I'm going with two of my brothers to see my third brother who lives there.
Nice.
Our oldest brother died, so he can't go. So
I'll be with you in spirit.
so anyway, I'm going over there. My brothers and I are going over there just to see, because one of my brothers has been gone. He's been living in China and Thailand and all over Southeast Asia for 15 years, and he's now living in Kauai.
Was he the naked hitchhiker?
No, that's somebody else. So we're doing that, and then in May we're going to Washington, D.C.
Nice.
And next November we are going to Australia and New Zealand.
I love it. Where's been your favorite place to travel?
I would say, in fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine who I went with. I would say that is Africa.
Yeah.
We went to South Africa the first time, and the second time we went to Kenya. And I can't even articulate what it was that I loved so much. I just loved everything about it.
Yeah, I think it was a profound experience for you. Peggy is a phenomenal photographer. And so whenever she goes on these trips, she shares the pictures, and it's just like they're not sitting in a hotel when they go to Africa. They're experiencing it. They're going on a safari. They're having a good time. And so her photos are just breathtaking.
I really got fortunate and got some really good photos. But you have to understand, these animals many times were, 5 feet from us. So it wasn't like looking at something across the field. I mean, these are right up on you.
Right.
That's crazy. And Tom and Brandon went to Africa.
No, Tom and Brandon went to Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Yeah, but Tom and Mallory, when I got back from Africa, because I'd gone with my friend Natalie, and I came back and I said, y'all have got to go to Africa.
Yeah.
Got to. So they went, like 6 months later, they went to Africa.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
I love people that have that energy and that wanderlust, and they just want to explore the world.
Agreed.
I think that's just so important for people to get out of their find out what else is out there.
It's very inspiring. I love talking to Peggy. I mean, between Toastmasters and being a grandma and her travel bug and her love for life, your zest for life is just so engaging. I love it so much.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I worry a lot these days about, because I don't know how old y'all are, but, I just feel like, when I'm pretty close to that 70 mark.
Yeah.
What if I can't do this, or what if I can't do that? And so I'm trying to work on making sure that I keep my mental and physical level up to where it was 10 years ago, so that I can keep doing what I want to do.
Yeah. Because you live such an amazing life, what tips would you share with like a teenager right now?
What are some tips for the younger group that you're just like, you need to do these things so that when you're getting to your 70s and your 80s, you're still active as best you can be? What are
I mean, it's all the regular stuff. I mean, you read every article you read. I read a lot, and I'm telling you, I do. I read a lot. I read 3 newspapers every morning.
Wow.
But everybody always tells you, stuff like, oh, you got to eat right and get enough sleep and get enough exercise and blah, 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 blah. We all know those things.
Yes. What's the Peggy hot tip?
Well, I just think it's more of your frame of mind.
Agreed.
It's in your frame of mind, and I just I didn't think about this question ahead of time, so I'm just
you're great.
But I just think it's in your frame of mind and staying. When I say stay positive, what I mean by that is there are negative things that are going to happen. Always. They're going to happen. Expect them to happen and don't be surprised by them.
Yeah.
Just work your way through and have total perseverance and just do it. You know, you can't let this, that, and the other get in the way. You've got to persevere through it, I think, and from a mental point of view.
Agreed.
Because bad things are going to happen.
Oh my,
Yes, I agree.
oh my gosh.
Wow, that's great advice. And I do think like the more positive you keep yourself, I think that's going to help you in the long run for sure. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy. I mean, you hear all the time, oh, keep a positive attitude, but that's so much different than putting that into practice.
Agreed. Yeah.
So much easier said than done. And
You got to do the work.
you got to do the work and you got to persevere. So
Yeah.
Yeah, never give up.
Well, you're definitely a role model for that, Peggy.
You are. That's a great pro tip. So other than reading 3 newspapers a day, what would be a perfect day for Peggy?
a perfect day for me. I like to sleep late. Believe it or not, and I'm not arguing for this, and I'm not saying this is good. I'm just telling you this is the truth. I need about 9 to 10 hours sleep a night
Yeah.
in order for me to be optimal. And if I don't get it, it's sad.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know the value of sleep until like probably about 5 years ago. And it's a life changer once you know the value of it and how important it is.
Yeah. Get that good sleep.
So you get that good sleep, and then what do you want to do? Read your 3 newspapers and
And one of the things I love, and I'm still working. I still do real estate, but I just have my own times. I like to get up and lounge, and I don't drink coffee, so I drink my little Coke in the morning and read my newspapers, and it takes about an hour.
Wow.
And then I'm ready to hit the road, and I don't have any idea what I'm going to do that day, but I get up, get showered, get dressed, and I'm going to hit it for the next 5-6 hours.
nice.
Doing something, and then I've got Toastmasters, and I've got friends in the neighborhood, and I'm real big in I'm the head of the social committee for our homeowners association, and I have church, and just this, that, and the other. But if I don't have anything to do, then I'm gonna find something. I think I need to find a new club where I can help out. Maybe CASA or Salvation Army or something. I need to find something because I want to be a productive member of society.
Yeah, I love it. And you have how many dogs right now?
I've got 2 of the cutest dogs you'd ever want to meet. I got a 9-year-old border collie, a black and white. And when we lost our last dog, I decided to get a new dog. And I decided I wanted another border collie because
They're a great dog.
they are good and they're smart as heck. So I went and found a blonde border collie, which is exactly like a border collie, but instead of black and white, it's blonde and white.
Oh.
She's a terrible dog. I take it back. I mean, she's terrible to everybody else, but I love her to death. I love this dog, and I'm working with her. She's a puppy still, and I'm working with her, and I have no doubt she's going to turn out to be a great dog.
Oh, of course.
But it's going to take some work with her.
Yeah. How old is she? How old is this little asshole?
Well, I got to tell you something weird about her. And it's such a strange thing. And maybe this is why she was the last one and no one took her. But her eyes, one of her eyes, the lid, around your eyes, one of her eyes is rimmed in black or chocolate, something dark. And her other eye is rimmed in white.
Okay.
And so it gives her kind of an odd look.
Yeah.
Have 2 different eyes like that. She's odd to everybody but me. I think she's beautiful.
Oh, except for her bad behavior.
Yeah, and her bad behavior is well, at first it was like I think she's a bad dog. But now I don't think she's a bad dog anymore. I think she came from a background where she was scared of everything, and so she's scared and she barks her head off with everybody. But I'm working on that diligently. I work with her every day on it.
Oh, yeah, of course you are. Well, Peggy, we really appreciate your time and hope you will come back and join us for another. Maybe you can do one of your Toastmasters for us and keep us up to date on your traveling. And we really appreciate it. We love you, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I too. I really do. I'm hoping in January I'll get to see some people. So. Oh, we don't see it already.
It is January. We gotta get it on the calendar. We love you so much.
Okay, well, thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. I hope I did all right.
You did great. Give Tom a big hug for me.
Okay. All righty then. Bye-bye.
Bye. Texas, Texas. Yeehaw.